JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. So let's do a quick and dirty. How do you prepare the new SBA application for PPP for Schedule C filers using your gross income? So what I want to do is show you where to go. I am going to put links in the body of this video below. You may have to click see more. I will put a link to the various major items here, but I want you to empower yourself. I want you to feel comfortable with what you're getting ready to do. And I will tell you this, they've made it pretty easy. They've come up with a new application. So let's get in it. Basically, you want to go to sba.gov, which is where I'm at now. Right up here, we're going to click Learn More. And they've updated the website again. You're going to see we have a number of places that you're able to get support. What we're going to be doing is if you got PPP or you didn't get PPP in 2020, you are completing the first draw PPP loans. Now, what do you mean, JJ? Well, when you are completing a redo, a reapply for the larger amount, you go with the first draw. So on this website, you'll see right here is the first draw PPP loans. You click on that and there is a bunch of information here for you. But what we're going to do is we're going to go right on down here, and you now see that there are two first draw PPP loan applications. What we're going to address here is the PPP first draw borrower application for Schedule C filers using gross income. So we click on that, and as they update it, they will update this landing page. So we're going to go to the PDF. Let me go ahead and enlarge this for you. And I will put a link to a video that's a little more in depth for those of you that will have some additional questions. You may want to say, well, where'd you come up with that? And in that video, I'll do this same thing, but I'll be more in depth. This is for those that really, quite frankly, don't have the patience for it and they just want to know what the answer is. So when you're filling this out, of course, you want to make sure you're filling out the Schedule C filers gross income. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter which box you check here. Take your pick. Trade name doesn't really matter. It's just if on your Schedule C you're using a trade name, you can put it there. The instructions say that your establishment, you can put NA. What's your business legal name? It's just whatever you've got on Schedule C. The NAICS code is directly the business code that is on Schedule C. And then you will mark this first box right here, applicant meets. You're going to click right there on no more than 500 employees. The business address is going to be the address you put on Schedule C. It may be your home. It may be wherever it is that you're doing business. The business TIN, EIN, SSN, ITIN. You're going to know if you have a separate EIN, it's going to be on your Schedule C. It'll be very clear to you that you have a federal ID number. If you don't have a federal ID number, it's an employer identification number, then you'll put your Social Security number. If you don't have a Social Security number, you can also put your ITIN. What's your business phone? Put it down. Primary contact, I would assume that'd be you, your email address. And then you're going to look at Schedule C and you're going to use line 7. I find that quite interesting. I can tell you why in the other video, but you're going to go to your Schedule C, you're going to find line 7, and you're going to put that dollar amount there. Whatever Schedule C you're using, check that box. In the instructions, it puts here that if you have no W-2 employees, if you pay someone a 1099, they are not an employee. So if you do not have W-2 employees, it says in the instructions right here that you will put A1. Then you're going to, if you have no employees other than the owners, you are the owner, you're going to take your gross income from the amount on either 19 or 20, and it's line 7. So you're going to take that dollar amount, you're going to then divide it by 12. So this amount here and this amount here, okay, are going to be the same. Then you're going to divide it by 12. and then you're going to times it by 2.5. The one thing to note is that in this box here, okay, right here is not going to be an amount that can be over $100,000. So what's making clear here is that when they say divided by 12, if your number comes out higher than $8,333, then you've got to put 833 there. Let me just say it another way. In this line item, in this box right here, is going to be your line 7. It just can't be more than 100,000. So if your line 7 is 188,000, then you can put 100,000 right there. The point of this is that you're not going to, in this area, able to put more than $8,333.33. Then you're going to times it by 2.5. Now, when it talks about the EIDL, it makes it clear, do not include your EIDL advance. And for most of you, 99.9% of you, this part doesn't apply to you because this would be the EIDL loan that you would have received before April 3rd. So if you didn't get an EIDL before April 3rd, you just ignore this. Now, if you have employees, then you're going to follow this. This video is very much meant for those that don't have employees. Look at my link to a longer video that will walk through all of this as well as then this section. What's the purpose of this PPP? Well, it's going to be for payroll. Do you have rent, mortgage, and interest that's in the business name? No? Then don't mark it. Do you have a separate location that you're paying utilities? No? Then don't mark it. Covered operation expenditures? If you don't know what that is, don't mark it. If you don't know what these items are, don't mark it because in essence, you just got to mark one of these and this would be the main thing to mark. On the owners, if you're filing a Schedule C, you are the owner. You're going to put your name, your title, what's your ownership. It would be 100%. You're going to put your EIN. Scratch that. You're going to put your Social Security number or your ITIN. I can talk about that further in that longer video, but that's what you're going to put. And then you're going to come down here. All of this section right here, all this stuff, it is voluntary. It doesn't make any difference about any of that stuff. You're the principal and what's your position? You're an owner. What's your name and what's your position? Your position is you are an owner. Then you go through yes, no on all of these questions. Then down here, you're going to read all of these and initial them. This one right here, the thing you want to focus in on is that the applicant was in operation on February 15th and is not permanently closed. Okay, all this stuff here is just going to confuse you. Go ahead and read all this stuff. You got to have economic uncertainty to be able to get this, but assuming that you can sign off on all those, and in the other video, it'll be a little longer. I'll walk through that. Then you're going to sign this, print your name, date, your title. Your title is owner. Down here, we've got a number of additional things and information. They put down the instructions here on some of these items that I already went through with you. So from my perspective, this is something that I think is made plain. It's been made easy. You might be at a bank where this is in essence something you're filling out electronically, if you will. You're just entering in the information, but you'll be able to then see what information that you need. And really what it comes down to is you need the Schedule C for either 19 or 20, and therefore you can pull that information up. I'm going to have a number of other videos going out related to this. If you're not a subscriber, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. I'm a practicing CPA. I'm putting together videos always in hopes that it would help my client, and in essence, you're listening in. Turn on your notifications so that you can see when I'm putting out additional videos. There's a number of additional items to pay attention to for those that are not self-employed, as well as there is an additional application for the second draw for those that are filing Schedule C based on gross income. All right, so this all just came out. Lots more to come. All right, hey, listen. Thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. All right, have a great one.